Now, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He's either stupid or he's a liar. Pick one. It's either of the two. But a lot of it does point to the fact that he's just dumb. Because if you remember a couple of days ago, the whole thing with Bob Chapek, because the release for Shang-Chi is experimental. Because they're releasing it for 45 days. And then this guy comes out going, we are not an experiment. It's like, he wasn't talking about that, Simu. He wasn't talking about that. I don't know why no one pointed it out to him. So it does point to maybe he's an idiot. It's one of the two. He's either an idiot or he's a race hustler. I'd say he's partly a race hustler because he never stops talking about his race. Never stops talking about it. But according to him, he's the first Asian hero. Can you believe it? No, I don't believe it. You know, if you think of martial arts, you think of Bruce Lee. That's the first person that comes to mind if I think about it. Bruce Lee played heroes. The likes of Enter the Dragon, which is the most successful martial arts film ever. But no, according to him, it didn't happen. Because he seems to have been living under a rock this entire time. But let's get into some of this article and see what he had to say. The early buzz for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings gives the MCU film high praise across the board, including for the movie's star, Simu Liu. In the lead up to the September 3rd premiere, Lee shared what it's like being cast as a superhero and what that means for kids who are like him. In an interview with Total Film, Lee shared how he reacted when Marvel's head honcho Kevin Feige let him know they cast him as Shang-Chi. I reacted by crying hysterically into my pillow. It's a bit strange, but alright. Going on to admit it put a lot of weight on his shoulders. It's certainly quite a bit of pressure, I have to say. I loved superhero movies growing up. I loved Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. But I was always keenly aware that people who looked like me could not look like that. According to who? According to you. So you say so, pretty much. Honestly, these Hollywood types, they're just amazing. I don't know who told him, oh, well, they can't look like that. I don't know who told him this. His parents? Did his parents not do a very good job or something? I don't know. You got to tell me. But Lee went on in the article to share what he thinks the movie will mean for others of Asian descent. Well, me personally, I don't think most Asian people think the way you do. I could probably go out on a limb and say, yeah, that's the case. But he says, it's a beautiful and exciting new origin story for this character that a lot of the world hasn't heard of before. And it means that kids growing up today will have what I didn't, which are characters that are aspirational that also reflect their lived experience. So first of all, I can bet that he's probably never heard of this character either. Because if he did, he would have known that this character is based on Bruce Lee. They obviously just couldn't call it Bruce Lee. So there's one thing that he clearly doesn't know that. No one's told him. And then all this, and it means that kids growing up today will have what I didn't, which are characters that are aspirational. Again, Bruce Lee is an aspirational person, an aspirational character. And he's aspirational to not just people of Asian descent, but everybody. I don't know anybody that's got a problem with Bruce Lee. So it's really amazing that he can just come out and say there's no aspirational Chinese heroes. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, there's the big two. And you've never heard of them, apparently. Apparently you've never heard of them. Why is that? I wonder. So when this guy is coming out with this, it does strike me as a bit strange. But it's like I've said, these people don't care about anyone but themselves. They keep banging the representation drum to get themselves a job. That's all it is. That's all you hear from them. is, oh, well, we need to get representation. Oh, no, you mean so you can get a job? You don't care about normal people, do you? Nah, it's all about your Hollywood club, innit? Then lived experience, that's a bullshit term. Because that means, oh, what, every person of Asian descent, they've all had the same experiences. No, that isn't the case. That isn't the case, Simu. No. Maybe you should stick to adult pretending instead of lecturing everybody else on lived experiences and the fact that you've never heard of Bruce Lee. That is very weird to me. But the biggest issue with this is disrespectful to the likes of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. This is pretty much diminishing of all their achievements. Because, I mean, you take Bruce Lee, and he actually had to struggle to where he got. He actually went through struggle, because, of course, Hollywood, they didn't want him at that time. Until he actually went out and proved himself. And that people seen how good he was. That's how he got to where he got. He put in the work. He didn't go on Twitter and go, well, these movies need to have more representation. No, he didn't do that. He went and fucking proved himself. And created himself a legacy. Whereas you're going to be forgotten as soon as this film's done. Because it's probably going to bomb anyway. It's probably not going to be any good. Especially looking at Marvel at the moment. But I mean, the only reason he got this job is because he put Kevin Feige or something on the spot. Going, oh, you should cast me in this. Clicking away on his keyboard. And now he gets his 15 minutes and he hasn't shut up about his race. It seems to be the only thing that comes out of his mouth. Oh, it's so important. You know, forget about Bruce Lee. They didn't happen. I'm the first. I am the first. Well, that's not going to give you a legacy. By you going about saying, I'm the first Asian aspirational character. No, you ain't. You ain't. But it continues. During the red carpet premiere yesterday, Lee touched again on this aspect of the movie with correspondent Arika Isha. In an emotional moment with Isha, the two shared how they yearned for a movie like Shang-Chi when they were younger. Fuck me. Where have you been living? Where have you been? Did your parents not let you watch TV or something? That's amazing. That is honestly, that statement. What? They yearn for a movie that there is fucking plenty. There's thousands upon thousands of Asian sort of stuff. So I don't know where they've been. But Isha says it's a huge thing. There are going to be kids looking up to the screen and saying, oh, he looks like me. I can be a hero. No, kids don't think that way. Kids only think that way when you bash it into their bloody brains. Honestly, what is it? No, kids don't think that way. You're making it up. Kids don't go, oh, because he looks like me, I can be a hero. No, kids don't care. The only kids that say that are the kids that have been programmed by their parents to think that way. If you let a kid just grow up, they don't think about things like that. They just go, oh, look at Batman, he's fucking cool, he is. They don't think about race unless they've had it beaten into their skulls. And the biggest problem with all this stuff is that you're telling these kids not to feel good about themselves unless they see someone that looks like them. That is fucking moronic. But they're going to continue to spin this bollocks anyway. And Lee, he agreed with Isha. That's certainly the hope. I think you'd agree with me. We didn't have that growing up. You fucking did, you dickhead. Absolute dickheads, these people. Are they a bit slow? No, it's starting to seem like they were dropped as a baby or something. How can you honestly say shit like that? It's fucking disrespectful to your Bruce Lees and all that. It is. But we didn't have that grow. You did. You're lying. You're fucking lying. Are you trying to score extra brownie points with the woke brigade? Is that what you're trying to do? But kids don't look up at the screen and go, "He looks like me. I can be a hero." No, they don't do that. They do not do that. They just go, "Oh, he's fucking cool as fuck he is." No matter who it is, if it's Bruce Lee, Batman, Spike, they just go, "Oh, he looks amazing. He does. I'd like to do stuff like that." They don't go. They don't sit and look at, "Oh, he looks like me. That makes me think I can be a hero." The kids don't do that. Honestly, this time we're living in is fucked. And then they act as if their word is the gospel. It's like, I can go out on a limb and say the majority of people from Asian descent, or whatever you want to call it, they probably disagree with you. They probably don't say shit like this. But I honestly think maybe he's just trying to big himself up, because he is a bit cocky. So maybe it's just, I'm going to big this film up by making it seem like I'm the first Asian hero. It's like, wait, you're just not. You're not. That's why I always say it is. They're just pure. This is purely about getting work, because then they can guilt trip people into giving them a job. Because he'll get turned down by someone, and he'll hashtag stop Asian hate and he'll use that to get himself a job. Because I don't believe that these Hollywood types give a shit about anyone, as long as they've got that money coming in. Because it's like, nobody really knows who this guy is. I think the only thing that I can think of is the Kim's Convenience. I never watched it, but I know my mum and dad did. But that's like the only thing I think he's actually done. So maybe he is just trying to bring more fame and exposure to himself, or something like that. But it's just absolute drivel that this guy spits out. It's like, how about just go and do the film, shut your mouth, because we're not interested. You can have your shitty little opinions, but we don't want to hear it. We just want you go and pretend we'll pay money to watch it. That's how this relationship works. We don't need you going, "I'm the first Asian superhero." But it's the same shit with Black Panther all over again. It's, there's never been any black people on screen, even though Blade was the first Marvel film ever to come out. And everybody loved it. No one was going, "Oh, black people on screen? That's unheard of." It's like, what are you talking about? But again, is he just gaslighting? Is that all he's doing? Is it? I honestly can't tell at this point, because he's made himself look a right fool a couple of times. And then he's made himself look a right fool again and again. But, we'll get people going about acting as if there's never been an Asian, like, even an Asian actor or something. He's like the first Asian actor, according to him. Same as Black Panther. It's the same thing that's the same. It'll probably come up that, oh no, all white people stay home. This is the opening day is for the Asians. We'll probably get that shit again by fucking SJWs on fucking Twitter. But I'm already out on this film anyway, because I think the guy's a complete wanker who's just disrespected all the fucking legends that have come before him. The guy just comes across to me as a dickhead. That's it. But I mean, it's going to be the same argument we got to keep listening to over and over again. Representation, oh, that's drivel. It's like, I've heard enough of it now. I still don't understand. It's like, right, this person over there just said that same thing. Why are you coming here to say it? We've just heard it. We just heard it from another twat. But and then we got this twat cut, and then we got another twat over there saying the same shit. It's like, get over yourself. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, and nobody believes that there's never been Asian heroes. But I think that's all I got to say on that anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.